Cyclocross magazine with Lance Haidet at the 2017 Montana Cross Camp. So this is your third cross camp, right?
Yep.
What motivates you to come back?
So my first 2 years as a 17-18 junior, I came to cross camp both years. And I just felt like doing a long season of road and then making a quick transition into cyclocross is sort of hard to do on your own.
Yeah.
Just because it's totally different. And being here in this structured form and being able to do like 3 workouts a day, running, cyclocross, like technique stuff, it's being able to do it in a group and having coaches here to watch you and make sure you're doing stuff correctly is pretty beneficial, I feel like.
Well, shocks to the system.
Exactly. No, I'm hurting right now, so no, it's good.
It's a little added benefit keeping tabs on your competitors like Gage.
Exactly. Yeah. Being able to see where everyone's at the start of this season. Granted, we have another month and a half or so, or maybe a bit under that. So things can change, but yeah, being able to see what your competitors are good at and not so great at is good. Yeah.
And you did some road racing just before this?
I did, yeah. So Gage Hecht and I were at Cascade Classic, racing the pro race there. So solid 5 days of racing, and then coming directly here was a bit hard. But after 2 or 3 days here, it was good.
So you've been on the road a lot.
Yeah, pretty much all summer. We did a month-long trip racing 2 stage races up in Canada, and then driving down to Pro Road Nationals in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then the week later U23 Nationals in Louisville. So,
are you ready for a break, or you got more road racing on the calendar?
I think I'm taking a break after this. Gonna go home and do a solid 10 days of chilling out, doing some running, mountain biking maybe, just getting used to riding on the dirt again.
You have a chance of making the U.S. World Cup teams?
I might have a chance. Based off of petition, if a couple guys say they don't want to go, I could definitely go. But I think based off of my lack of UCI points from last year, I'm right on the bubble of the top 16 riders in the U.S. So we'll see. I'm not necessarily planning on it. I was probably going to go to Cross Vegas and do the West Sac GP just because it's local. Last year I was sort of traveling back and forth West Coast to East Coast every single weekend and was definitely a bit cracked in the early season. So try to go into the cross season a bit smoother and lighter on travel this year.
Will that experience last season adjust how you plan your goals for this season? Or?
Yeah, for sure. Last year, a lot of my goals were actually last year I was pretty terrible about making goals. My one goal was I want to win nationals, which was awesome and I was able to do. And then the other one was to make the world's team, which I was also able to do. But there's a lot of season between September and nationals that this year I'm really striving to achieve goals during that as well. So
what will it take to defend the national champion jersey this year?
A lot of hard work. There's Spencer, Gage, Max Chance. I think Denzel is a U23 this year, which they're all really strong guys. Maybe even by numbers a bit stronger than I am, but I don't know. I think this year I'm really motivated to keep the jersey and to be able to show that. I don't know. It's going to be hard, but.
Do you have world's hopes too?
I do. Yeah. Last year I was I didn't go over to Europe much or at all. My first year U23, and last year I sort of just went in the late part for the World's trip, and this year I want to do a bit more over in Europe just to get that feeling back and remembering what it's like to race over there. And then Worlds, I would love to get top 15 at Worlds. It's going to be hard to do, but I think it's possible. So
you've done a lot on the road, had some success there. Do you feel any pressure to have to choose between the disciplines?
Not a whole lot of pressure. There is some conflict between like directors for each, and one wanting you to do this event while the other's wanting you to do this event, and there's a bit of conflict, but I mean nothing major so far. The only thing I've seen is just, I mean, there's a lot of guys that try to do both, sort of get into this run of being somewhat mediocre at each. Like it's hard to focus and be really good at one thing if all summer or all fall you're doing cyclocross or road and not being able to focus on one. But I think eventually like the sport will sort of choose for me about which one I want to focus on. So I mean, I don't necessarily want to choose right now. I think I have a couple more years of being able to do both.
Any thoughts of going over to Europe for a full season and experience cross at that?
I mean, I would love to. I mean, it would seem like an awesome experience, and being able to get some awesome racing in, good training, being able to see what it's like to live over there and race over there and make cyclocross your life. But I mean, right now with school, I just don't really see it happening. But definitely, I think in my once I graduate from school, and I'd probably like to go over there and do a full season.
What are you studying?
Mechanical engineering.
Awesome. I studied that too, and part of my motivation was to work on bikes. Was that any role in? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, in San Luis Obispo, where I live, I mean, there's like SRAM engineering, design, and I mean, there's a lot of engineering going on there with Cal Poly. So I mean, it was definitely a motivation to work in the bike industry, because I feel like there's a good amount to do if you're a mechanical engineer. And yeah, I mean, that was definitely part of it.
One day we might see you riding your own bike or own parts.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that. That would be super cool. So yeah.
Having been here several times, how would you describe Jeff Proctor?
Jeff, I mean, he's extremely motivated and has a lot of knowledge. I mean, he's been in the sport forever, and being able to like listen to what he has to say and the advice he gives is super beneficial. He's also like, being a school teacher, he's pretty structured and regimented for sure, which is, it definitely takes a little while to get used to. Like the first day you come and it's like, wake up at 6, you're running, and then directly to breakfast, then directly to riding, then meetings, then sleeping, then so it's definitely regimented, but it keeps us all in check for sure, which is good.
For some time off and to sit on the couch for a while?
I'm ready to chill out a bit, maybe ride some mountain bikes and get back into running shape. So
cool. What was the highlight of this year's camp?
I mean, it's hard. We do so much cool stuff. I mean, the gravel race or rides we do in the afternoon are always awesome, because everyone chills out until the climbs, and then it's full gas up every single one. So that's pretty fun, just to be able to duke it out with everyone. And I mean, the views and just the riding in general is really cool. Also, just getting back into the cyclocross drills in our morning session is super fun. I don't know, I feel like training for cyclocross is, you sort of just go out there and have fun and like do some really cool stuff that guys on the road or mountain bike aren't really getting to do. And I don't know, I just find training for the technique of cyclocross to be really fun. So.
You've done some gravel racing in the past, right? Yeah,
I mean, not as much as I would like to, just because it's hard to do it with the road season as well. But yeah, I mean, I've done Lost and Found a couple times, and the Grasshopper series up in Northern California. I did a couple of those. I don't know, and I'd like to do Crusher and the Tusher at some point, just because it seems pretty gnarly. But I'd definitely like to get into more gravel.
Suits your climbing legs, maybe.
Yeah, suit the climbing legs, be able to handle your bike a bit, and I feel like it's a pretty good way to train for cyclocross during the summer.
How about extreme events like Dirty Kanza?
I don't know if I could ride 200 miles. I'd probably crack really hard, but I don't know, maybe one day.
We see some cyclocrossers like Amanda Nauman.
I know. Some of them crushing it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Awesome. Well, good luck with the season.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
your time.
Andrew.